single people, if you dating somebody, you need to ask 1,000 questions during the dating process. You don't need to be sitting up there talking about, well, I go to church and I talk in tongues, and a big plus is I'm a member of World Change. Oh, praise the Lord, I done found my husband. You might have found the devil. Hold up a minute, girl. You need to ask some questions.
Hello guys, this is your girl Favor and you're welcome to another episode of From the Heart with Favor. So if this is your first time seeing my face or any of my videos, please make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit notification bells to get notifications whenever I post new videos. And to my returning subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing and for always returning to watch my videos. So the topic for today is the questions that I asked my husband before I gave him the yes. As you all know, if you watched the How We Met video, you know that I did not jump into yes immediately. I did not give the brother yes immediately. Yeah, of course, your girl had to go home, think about it, and pray about it also. And if you've not watched that video, I will link it in the description box below and somewhere above here, so that you go back and watch it and understand what I'm saying. So a lot of you requested that I make a video of the questions that I asked him, so here it is. I'm going to be discussing in this video the questions that I asked him and the reasons why I asked those questions. Actually, I'm not going to be discussing all the questions, just a few of them. Some of them are actually personal, just a few of them. Meanwhile, these questions, they do not take place of God directing you, because a lot of times we rationalize a lot, and then in all our rationalizing we keep God aside. So like I said, I had to pray about it, but in the praying I also had to, investigate on my own things that I had to investigate on my own. But still, like I said, that does not cover the place of God. If God is not giving you a go ahead, don't go. Even if all the questions and the answers you are getting are seemingly right, please don't go if God is not giving you a go ahead. So let's get right to this video. See, marriage is no joke. It's something that you should go into having some basic knowledge. Seriously, a lot of people jump into marriage without having the basic knowledge about marriage. Yes, some things are going to take you by surprise, but when you have those basic knowledge about marriage, those things will take you by surprise, but then it will not shake you. It will not shake you to the core, because you have built yourself, you have built your knowledge and understanding of what marriage is supposed to be. So before you get into marriage, please make sure you understand what it is, what your role as a wife is, what your role as a husband is. Make sure you understand these things from the standpoint of God, because as human beings we have our own additions here and there. But if we follow the additions and forget the main principle or the main instruction that God has laid down for the family, for husband and wife, then you are missing it. Husband, love your wife like Christ loved the church and laid down his life for her. Wife, submit to your husband just as the church submits to Christ. These two are the basic instructions for marriage. Does not mean that there are no other additions, but these two things, they are the main things. But if you follow the other additions and leave the main things, you are going to have problems. That is why you are supposed to have a prior understanding and knowledge and understanding of what marriage is, of who you are. See, that is why self-discovery is very important before marriage. Know who you are. Understand yourself. Because if you don't understand yourself, how are you going to understand the next person? How are you going to understand the person you're getting into the marriage with? As a single person, try your best to understand yourself. Try your best to understand yourself, understand God's calling and purpose for your life before you get into marriage, so that you will not have problem, so that you avoid some unnecessary struggles that a lot of people have put themselves into just because they did not do what was required. Marriage is sweet, but marriage is work. So you need to do your background work first before you enter into. If you don't do background work on yourself, on your mental health and everything, if you don't do background work, there's going to be a problem at the end of the day. There's going to be a problem one way or another. That is why you need to work on yourself as a person before you hook yourself to another person's son or another person's daughter. So one of the first questions I asked him was, are your family members aware of this step that you are about to take, and are they in support? So the reason why I asked this question is because I don't want to enter a family where I am not accepted, or they wanted their brother or their son to marry from one village, and then I don't have strength to fight that fight. Except God said you should go and fight it. Me, I cannot go put myself inside trouble. So I had to be sure that his family was in the same boat with him concerning the decisions he has made. I believe he should have showed his family the picture of the girl he wants to propose to and all that. And definitely as family now, they will discuss it behind you. The person that they are proposing to, you are not there. So I had to be sure that everybody was in the same boat, because I cannot come and kill myself. No, I cannot. I cannot come and kill myself. So that was the reason why I asked that question, because it was very important to me. I believe that if I'm getting married, I'm acquiring a new family. Family to me is a place where I am at peace, a place where I have rest, not a place that I will be fighting one battle or another. No. That's the reason why I asked that question. So the next is, why did you quit your previous relationship? Like, I knew he was in a relationship before, so I had to ask this question to be able to be sure that I'm not in the same boat with the sister that left him, or he left. Either way, I had to be sure that I'm not in the same boat with the auntie, so that I will not come and start something I will not finish. If you have watched, like I said, the video of how we met, you understand this question. Like I said, I'll link it in the description box below and up here. So I had to know the reason why he left the relationship. So the next question I asked him was what his purpose in life was, what he believed his purpose in life was, because I cannot be going to Lagos and you are going to Abuja. The roads are not, we are not going in the same direction, so we cannot enter the same vehicle. That if you cannot enter the same flight, you cannot enter the same boat. They are going in two different directions. So I had to know what his purpose in life, what he believes God has placed him here on earth to do is, because knowing mine, that is why, as a single person, try your very best to find out why God has created you. That way you eliminate some things when it comes to marriage, because you cannot, it's going to be very difficult to get hooked to someone that has a different, when I mean different purpose, I mean like this person is going here, you are going here. There's no middle ground. So you have to know your purpose first, know yours, before you talk of the other person's own. Know your purpose, what God has placed you here on earth to do, is know it before you talk of marriage. It's necessary, is important. And if you are married, it only needs extra work. So I had to know what his purpose here on earth was, because there has to be a middle ground. There has to be a middle ground. We cannot be going two different ways. We have to be in the same boat. Yes, the purposes are not necessarily going to be the same thing, but they should be like the other. That one vehicle can, convey us in the marriage that we are inside. Because see, I believe a lot of us have heard this, marriage is a huge determinant in one's life, a very big determinant. It determines whether you are going to fulfill purpose or not, whether you are going to fulfill purpose on time or not. So I had to get this one I had to get an answer to this. Another question I asked was what are his life's goals and visions, because your girl has to know. I had to know, of course. Just like you would ask any not random person, but just like you'd ask your friend what their goal is. What is your goal in life? What vision do you have for yourself? Yes, so I had to ask that question. What vision do you have for yourself? What vision do you have for your family? What goals do you have for yourself and your family? So I will know whether I will enter that picture or not. Because if the picture is not right, I will excuse myself without having to put myself inside it at all. Exactly. I don't want stories. See, when it comes to marriage, I don't want story at all. So another question I asked was what his idea of marriage was, because a lot of people have different ideologies concerning marriage, and two people with different ideologies of what marriage is getting married is going to be wild, because this person thinks it's supposed to be this, the other person thinks it's supposed to be this. Clashing ideologies, which is not right. You're supposed to be on the same page with concerning marriage with the person you want to marry. You are supposed to be on the same page. I can't emphasize this enough. Be on the same page, so that some unnecessary arguments, some unnecessary fights and disagreements you will avoid, and some unnecessary breakups also you would avoid. So make sure that you are on the same page with the person that you are planning to marry, whether you're a woman or a man. That's it. That's my own. I have to know what his idea or ideology of marriage was, because I know what mine is. I had to be sure that it aligned with his, because if it does not align, there's going to be there's going to be a problem. And also I had to know I also asked him what his blueprint for his family is, because as we know, the Bible has made us understand that the man is the head. So as the leader of this family that he wants to create, what is his blueprint? Because it is his blueprint that we are going to follow. Yes, as the wife, you are going to be suggesting, and as a leader that listens to people that he's leading, he is going to also be listening to your suggestions, but he has a blueprint. So I had to know what his blueprint for his marriage was. I had to know what his blueprint for his family was, because like I said, if we are not on the same page, it's going to be a huge problem, and I wanted by all means to avoid that. Because if you marry a man that says you must stay in the house as a wife, and you not clarify it, if you marry a man that is like that and you are a career woman and you want to be a career wife, it's going to be nearly impossible. Really, it's going to be really nearly impossible to achieve that. So like I said, I don't want wahala. I've said that a lot in this video. But true, I don't want problem. See, marriage is enough work already. I cannot come and add work on top of it for myself. No. The next thing one of the next questions I asked him was, what's your marriage deal breaker? What is going to make you quit a marriage? What is going to make you say, I know they marry again? I have to know. Doesn't necessarily, nobody is planning to get married and leave the marriage. Nobody is praying for it. But there are some things you need to know and understand. Yes, if this thing is a deal breaker for this person, so that you check yourself and know if it is something that you are doing. You get, that's why I had to ask that question. What was his deal breaker in marriage? So as Christians, we know that the man is the head, like I've mentioned before, of the family. He is supposed to be the priest of the family. So one of the questions I asked him also was how he was going to wash me, because when Bible was relating the relationship between a husband and a wife to the relationship between Christ and the Godhead. So I had and there the Bible said that just like Christ washes the church and presents it to himself blameless. So I had to know how the mister or the brother is going to be washing me. And when I mean this basically means how he was going to, you know, help me out spiritually and physically also, because Christ himself helps us, and in helping us, he is purifying us, he is perfecting us to present a blameless and a church without blemish. Likewise, a man is supposed to, you know, wash his wife spiritually, cover her spiritually and physically also. These two things, physically and spiritually, to present it to himself and to the Father that has put the leadership in him. You know, to present it to himself, to present it to God also, blameless. So I had to know, so that if it is someone that has no plan to do that work, like I said, marriage is work. So if it's someone that has no plan to do that, I will run. Yes, it has to be someone that will help you grow. That's why I said wash. That in that washing there is the man that or the woman that will help you to grow spiritually and physically, that will help you to grow mentally, that would help you to grow like socially, financially, or whatnot. That will basically help you to grow, to be more developed and grown than you are as at when you met that person. So I had to know how the brother was going to be washing me, to present it to God, to present me, not just me, the whole family, to God, blameless. Does it mean that as the wife you have no work? Of course you have your work cut out for you. And with that, I've come to the end of this video. Please make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and share this video to everyone that you believe needs to hear this. And also in the description box below, let's continue this discussion. If you are married, what did you do, you know, before you got married? How did you prepare yourself? What are the questions you asked your spouse now? And if you are about to get married, how are you working on yourself to prepare yourself for marriage? So until next time, and please make sure to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and hit the notification bell to get notifications whenever I post new videos. So until next time, bye.